Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Howard, you have a warrant in Tucson City Court. You're charged for trespassing. And you have a felony hold, so you're gonna remain in that, in custody on that felony. On this misdemeanor, I'm gonna order that you not have contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the incident location. Let's see. Don't have any contact with the alleged victim and no alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm releasing you on these conditions. You have a court date of December 19th at 9 o'clock in Tucson City Court. You will not be there. However, I'm appointing the city public defender who will be there representing you. You're excused.
Am I released on pretrial services or I don't understand.
This is a misdemeanor, sir. You are released on the city matter. You are not released on the felony. Okay, you have.
Okay. The felony is the bond. I don't know.
I don't know anything about the felony except that you're
Okay, I'm
being held
sorry.
on it, sir.
Okay.
Okay, I'm talking about a misdemeanor case. You're excused.
All right.
Martinez.
Good evening, Your Honor. This is the Spanish interpreter. According to my list, I don't see any Spanish speaking requiring an interpreter.
Can the jail verify no Spanish speakers?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You're excused then.
Thank you, Your Honor. Interpreter will now disconnect.
Okay. Hello, what's your name, sir?
Cesar Martinez.
Martinez, you have charges in Tucson City Court, shoplifting, 2 counts, and assault, no injury. I'm going to order that you not return to the store, do not have contact with the alleged victim. You are being released on the city charges. You do have a justice court hold that you will remain in custody on. Your city court date is December 19th at 9 o'clock. I'm appointing the city public defender to represent you. They will be in court representing your interests. You will not be transported to that court date, though. You're excused.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Hello, what's your name?
Armando Montaño.
You have an arrest warrant out of Pima County Justice Court on charge of shoplifting and possession of drug paraphernalia. You failed to appear last month. Why was that?
Well, I just got that cleared up like a week ago,
If I let
and they
you,
gave.
excuse me, if I let you go, are you going to go to court as you're supposed to?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Your court date will be November 13th at 8:30, Pima County Justice Court. You're excused.
Thank you.
Yeah. To the 45 or into the house. Copy what's on, only when needs to. That's at 6. Only one good one. Not here, I was.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Robert Nikiba.
Okay. You are charged with theft. This is from today. I'm going to order that you not return to the location of the alleged incident. Don't have any contact with alleged victims. You already have a pending case in city court with a court date of December 19th at 9 o'clock, and you're already represented by the public defender. This will be a non-transport date. You will not be transported to the court date. However, your public defender will be there representing you. December 19th, 9 o'clock, Tucson City Court. You're excused.
All right, thank you.
Hello, what's your
Tony.
Tony? What's your last name?
Tony.
Thank you. With assault, domestic violence assault, three counts of domestic violence, disorderly conduct. I'm going to order that you not commit any act of domestic violence, don't have any contact of any kind with Phil Doe, and stay away from her home and workplace. I'm going to release you with those conditions. Your court date in Sahuarita Municipal Court is November 18th at 8:30.
Thank you, sir.
Well, Hello, what's your name?
Hi, Clayton Mitty.
You're charged with domestic violence, disorderly conduct, in order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence, don't possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Do not have contact of any kind with Jody Meddy and stay away from her home and workplace. You do get a one-time return visit with a police escort to get your belongings. You're released with these conditions. Your court date at Pima County Justice Court is November 13th at 10:30. You're excused.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, what's your name?
My official.
You charged with domestic violence, threat, and intimidation. Really, so. I'm gonna order that you, not commit any acts of domestic violence, you not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or other weapons. Do not have contact of any kind with the say, Visha, and stay away from her home and workplace, with the exception that you get a one-time return visit with a police escort to get your belongings. Bond is set in the amount of $500. Appoint the public defender to represent you. If you're still in custody, you'll be seen on video November 12th at 1:30. If you post the bond before then or release before that date, then it'll still be the same date and time, but with you there in person, Tucson City Court. You're excused.
Oh, it's right.
Hello, what's your name?
Timothy Michael Schultz.
You have a bunch of cases in Tucson City Court, most of which you've already been seen on, the ones you have not yet been seen on. You were charged today with possession of drug paraphernalia. You were charged on October 4th with shoplifting. October 24th, another shoplifting. September 28th, possession of drug paraphernalia. And August 23rd, drug paraphernalia. I'm ordering that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Do not have contact with any alleged victims. Stay away from all the incident locations. Bond is set in the amount of $500. The city public defender is appointed to represent you. And you're going to be seen on video November 13th at 1:45. If you post the bond and are out of custody before that date, it will remain your court date, but with you there in person rather than on video. And the city public defender will be representing you. You're excused. Hello, what's your name? Okay. Folks at the jail need to unmute.
Andrew Valdez.
Andrew Valdez, thank you.
Stretch it.
He might be.
Okay, sir, you have numerous cases in Tucson City Court, most of which you've been seen on already. The newer ones are November 3rd today, you were charged with trespassing and possessing of drug paraphernalia.
Okay.
You were charged on June 24th, possessing of paraphernalia, 3 counts. And possession of prescription only drugs. and failure to appear. And April, no, that's the wrong date. July 18th, you were charged with trespassing and you failed to appear in court. Don't go back to any of the incident locations. Don't have contact with any alleged victims. Possess or consume alcohol or illegal. Bond is set in the amount of $500. The city public defender is appointed to represent you. You're going to be seen on video on November 7th at 1:45. If you bond out before then, in-person date will be. Can we hold down the background noise? Thank you. December 13th at 9 o'clock will be your out of custody date if you bond out. You're excused.
Then.
Continue to AM, they said there's a change. Rodriguez, they want to continue earlier, it's 103, they said they may bring him up in the restraint chair towards the end of the session.
Not really continue to.
Okay.
Hello, what's your name?
On the third,
I didn't hear your name because you were muted.
sorry, Alton Fortis Harrison third.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Harrison, you're charged with
Yes.
domestic violence, aggravated assault, and the other charges I imagine you want me to omit reading. Counsel, okay. I'm gonna order at a minimum that you not commit any acts of domestic violence. You're not to have to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or other weapons, don't have contact with Daniela Havercorn or any of the other alleged victims, stay away from their home and workplace. And there are other instructions on here that you can read for yourself. $50,000 bond is what the state is requesting. Does the defense wish to speak?
Judge, we'd just like to point out that he doesn't have any felony priors and it does not look like he has any sort of NVCA flag. And he does have support with his mother. So we'd ask you to consider that when you're considering the bond amount.
Considering the facts of the case, I think 50,000 is appropriate. November 13th, 1:30 is the next court date and the public defender is appointed. You're excused, sir. Are we continuing price?
Just him.
This is right.
He's here, Judge.
Oh, he is? Oh, okay. Mr. Price, Jeremy, is that your name? First name?
Yeah.
Okay. You've got both felony and misdemeanor charges. Your felony is resisting arrest. And on that, prosecution is recommending a $20,000 bond. We'll hear from the defense.
Judge, we'd be asking for something much lower than the $20,000 bond. This is considered a nonviolent offense. It looks like his last offense was in 2020 and he doesn't have an active NVCA flag. I also don't have any verified employment, so we'd ask if you can consider that in your bail decision.
We'll hear from the state.
Yes, Your Honor. Given his prior felony convictions and his history of violence, as well as the history he's demonstrated with lack of compliance and lack of court orders and police officer directions, I would ask that he be held on a $20,000 bond.
Thank you.
According to Josh.
All right, no alcohol and drugs, no firearms or weapons, do not indicate contact with the alleged victim. Bond is set in the amount of $10,000. Your next court date is November 13th at 1:30. Which attorney agency is the, it doesn't say. Public defender.
Lieutenant, this is, Penske. Do I, pass your answer, what's the one thing, with the defendant, in the restraint chair, with the judge? And, the judge said, you know, he will continue them citizens, so. Yeah, we can probably have that. Not all.
Okay, you have a couple of, he needs to come back. We're not done yet. All right, you've got a couple of misdemeanor cases in Tucson City Court, both of them trespassing. One is from today and the other one is from last Friday. Not guilty on both. Don't have contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the incident locations. Releasing you on those cases Since you're being held on a felony, I'm going to appoint the city public defender to represent you in misdemeanors. And your court date is going to be December 19th at 9 a.m. You are not going to be transported to city court. However, the public defender for the city will be there representing you. Someone from that office will be out there to see you. You're excused.
No.
Hello, what's your name?
Adam Chappelle.
No, thank you. All right, you've got two matters, one of which you have an arrest warrant out of Pima County Superior Court on a charge of misconduct involving weapons and listing a $2,000 bond. And you've got a new complaint, dangerous drug for sale, narcotic drug for sale, possession of drug paraphernalia, and 2 counts of misconduct involving weapons. On the new complaint, the state's recommending a $10,000 bond. And on the warrant, they're recommending the $2,000 bond listed in the warrant. Let's hear from the defense.
Judge, on the warrant case, we are asking for, a lower bond. It looks like he wasn't previously arrested from what I can tell, and that it was a summons was sent to his address, which is different than the one he provided to pretrial services. So I think it's very likely he just never got that summons. On the new case, we'd also be asking for something less. He is unemployed, and this is considered a nonviolent offense. He does not have an active NBCA flag.
Let's hear from the state.
Yes, Your Honor, he is a 3 out of 3, and while these are just allegations, it is concerning that these are repetitive allegations that are being held against the defendant. The state is asking for the $10,000 bond.
All right, thank you. On the Superior Court matter, bond is set in the amount of $1,000. Your court date is November 10th at 1:30. Public defender appointed. No alcohol or drugs, no firearms or other weapons. And on the new interim complaint, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or other weapons. Bond on that matter is set for $1,000 as well. November 13th, 1:30. Public defender appointed. You're excused.
Hello.
Good evening. What's your name?
Kenidra Monique Seymour.
Okay. You're charged with domestic violence, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, dangerous instrument. The state is asking for a $15,000 bond at a minimum. I'm going to order that you not possess any firearms or other weapons, no alcohol or illegal drugs. Do not have contact of any kind with I.C. Mitchell and stay away from her home and workplace. No acts of domestic violence. We'll hear from the defense as to the request for the bond.
Judge, I just confirmed that she does not share housing with the victims, and one of the victims confirmed that, and the other was not able to be reached. So, to me, I think that's accurate. She does have full-time employment, at a gas station, so she's not making a ton there. And so for those reasons, we're asking you to consider that in your bond, amount.
All right, thank you. We'll hear from the state.
Yes, Your Honor. She is a 4 and a 3. She took a firearm and pointed it at the victims and threatened to shoot them, which the state believes is particularly concerning given the criminal history that's listed. She does have prior felony convictions. She has a significant history of failing to appear for court hearings. She's facing mandatory prison time and has a history of violent behavior. So the state believes a $15,000 bond is appropriate.
15,000, November 13th, 1:30. Legal defender appointed. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Just get the judge.
Christopher Fritz.
Okay. Mr. Fritz, you're charged with possession of a dangerous drug. The state is requesting that I hold you on a $1,500 bond. Is this person steps eligible?
It does not appear so, Your Honor.
Okay,
I have that he is steps eligible. So I'd ask that we just put him through the hearing and they can decide at the hearing.
all right. Does the defense wish to be heard as to the matter of the requested bond?
And Your Honor, just to clarify, I did double check and he is steps eligible. I apologize for that error.
Okay, thank you.
Judge, we'd be asking that you consider releasing him to pretrial services. It looks like this is a personal possession drug count. He claims to have housing and employment. So for those reasons, we are asking, release.
All right, we'll hear from the state.
Your Honor, typically in steps cases, we do release to pretrial services. However, in this particular case and a couple others this evening, based on the risk assessment and the significant failure to appear history, we are asking for a lower bond. And in this case, the state believes that given the fact that he was on probation and he has a violent history, that a $1,500 bond is appropriate.
All right, thank you. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000. No alcohol or drugs. Pretrial services supervision. If the bond is posted, don't return to the incident location. Contact the assigned probation officer first working day following release. November 13th is your preliminary hearing at 1:30. And as for steps, I'm going to read a statement to you, followed up by a question. Please respond yes or no to the question. You may be eligible to participate. You may be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate, Complete
I don't
the,
need to hear none of this shit, yo.
You think that helps you?
I said I didn't need to hear none of this shit, yo.
okay,
I'm gonna lose my house and everything because you didn't want to let me go, yo. Finish me with all that other bullshit.
okay. Forget steps, November 13th, 1:30, public defender. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Idris Hill.
You got both felony and misdemeanor charges. Your felony charges, domestic violence, kidnapping, domestic violence assault, domestic violence threats and intimidation, possession of narcotics, possession of a deadly weapon by a prohibited possessor, possession of a deadly weapon during the commission of a felony, and prevention of telephone in use of telephone in an emergency. We're gonna order no alcohol or drugs. You are, let me double check here. What is this? Yeah. No acts of domestic violence. Do not possess any firearms or other weapons. Don't have contact of any kind with Daisy Marin and stay away from her home and workplace. The state is recommending a $20,000 bond. We'll hear from defense counsel.
Thank you, Judge. We'd ask that you consider, the fact that I don't have any verified employment at this time, so, we need you to consider that in his bond amount. It also doesn't look like he has any violent priors, and his last offense was from 2020.
He has a violent prior in the domestic violence assault from, that was a while ago.
I'm just reading the pretrial services workup.
Let's hear from the state.
Yes, Your Honor. He is a 5 and a 5 on the scales. He struck the victim in the face multiple times and then grabbed her throat, which is significant in and of itself. But this occurred while the defendant was driving. And after she kept trying to get away, he drove faster and more erratic and then took her phone and prevented her from calling the police. I think that not only is he a danger to the victim, but the fact that this took place while he was driving a vehicle indicates that he's a danger to the public at large. And as you did indicate, Your Honor, he does have a violent prior and a history of failing to appear. So the state believes that a $20,000 bond is appropriate.
Bond is set in the amount of 20,000, November 13th, 1 o'clock. Is your court date at Green Valley Justice Court. And the public defender is appointed. As to the misdemeanor case, you have been charged with possession of drug paraphernalia. We're gonna order no alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't return to the incident location. You're being released on the misdemeanor. I am appointing the city public defender to represent you. You're gonna have what's called a non-transport date, December 19th, 9 o'clock at Tucson City Court. You will not be present at that court date. However, the city public defender will be present and representing you there. Okay, you are excused. Oh, I forgot to put felony hold on there. Yeah. Hello, what's your name, sir?
Andrew Lopez.
You have you have felony charges as well as a case in Tucson City Court. Felony wise, you're charged with aggravated assault and misconduct involving weapons.
This is Lopez.
I'm sorry?
This is Lopez. They skipped a couple.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Let's see. Andrew Lopez,
Yes, sir.
okay. Okay. We've got felony and misdemeanor cases on Mr. Lopez. Felony charge is possession of narcotics for sale. And let me double check here. He's got a probation hold. The state's recommending a $10,000 bond. And he's got another interim complaint, destruction of evidence. And the state's recommending a $10,000 bond in that one as well. Defense wish to be heard on these bond requests.
Yes, Judge. In terms of the for sale charge, the today's date, I have an argument on probable cause. It looks like in the interim complaint, they're alleging that he was in the car and then all of these different types of drugs were found in the safe. And there's no indication he has any relation to that safe or any relation to those drugs.
Okay, let me review it. State wish to respond?
Yes, Your Honor, and I do recognize that this is a little bit complicated, but if we reference the co-defendant's probable cause statement, we would see that after the safe was opened, and the components were, or that the substances were found, Andrew admitted that everything belonged to him. And that co-defendant is, the PC statement is under Courtney Swanson. So I recognize that it might not have been copied and pasted into the correct form, but I don't believe that there's not probable cause when in fact he made admissions.
Judge, I disagree. It has to be under his name and his case number. They don't have it in that case file.
Why are we going to somebody else's case to charge him? It doesn't
And,
say.
I completely understand, Your Honor. I'm just making the argument that they are co-defendants and the probable cause statements are very similar in nature. I think that the statement that the defendant in fact made admissions that everything belonged to him may have just been omitted from this particular form.
Well, you're gonna have a chance to correct it, but since it's not correct tonight, I'm dismissing it, without prejudice. All right, so. The remaining charge is the felony charge is the, what is this? Destruction of evidence. Defense wish to be heard on that bond request.
Yes, Judge. It looks like this is an old case. This is from 2022. I don't know why it's being. I don't really know why this isn't a direct indictment and why this is now an interim complaint. But he's accused of swallowing pills, so I don't think that's the type of offense that warrants a bond at all, much less any significant bond. I think the probation hold was probably put in place because of the charge you just dismissed. I don't even know if that probation hold is valid, given how old this case is, but that would be my argument.
All right. We'll hear from the state.
Your Honor, in light of all of the facts that have transpired during the hearing, the state doesn't have any additional argument to make other than what's been submitted on the form.
All right, thank you. Bond is set in the amount of 25,000. The probation hold still exists, so he'll be held on that anyway. November 13th, 1:30. Public offender appointed.
Judge, did you say 25,000?
2,500.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the remaining matter. Well, actually, I guess there are a couple of remaining matters. There's a warrant on a drug paraphernalia case out of Marana City Court. He's released on that with a court date of December 3rd at 10 o'clock a.m. And there is a case in Tucson City Court, possession of drug paraphernalia and failure to appear. This is from 2021. The defendant never having appeared on it. We're gonna order no alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't go back to the incident location. Mr. Lopez is released on this misdemeanor case. The city public defender is appointed to represent him. We're gonna set a non-transport review for December 19th at 9 o'clock at Tucson City Court. Your public defender will be in court representing you, sir. You will not be transported to the court date, though. Someone from the city will be out to see you before that date. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Averaldo again.
Okay, Mr. Holguin. You've got felony charges as well as a misdemeanor case from Tucson City Court. The felonies are, charges are aggravated assault and misconduct involving weapons. We're gonna order no alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't possess any firearms or other weapons. don't have contact with the alleged victim, and stay away from the incident location. You have a Department of Corrections hold. The state is requesting on the felony a bond of $50,000. And we'll hear from the defense.
Thank you, Judge. We'd be asking for a much lower bond. He does have the DOC hold. He's also unemployed and homeless, and he doesn't have an active NVCA flag. I'm also not seeing any pilot priors, so we're asking you to consider a lower bond.
State wish to be heard.
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant is a 4 and a 5. While he does have a parole violation and a DOC hold, the defendant pointed a gun at the victim's head and while being a prohibited possessor, and the state is not willing to rely on the fact that there's a DOC hold. So the state is requesting a $50,000 bond in light of his history of failing to appear for court hearings, the fact that he was on parole, the fact that he has prior felony convictions and a history of violence.
All right, thank you. November 13th, 1:30, 50,000. And the public defender is appointed. The misdemeanor cases in Tucson City Court charges are 2 counts of trespassing and 1 drug paraphernalia. We're going to order no contact with victims, stay away from the incident location. And do not possess any alcohol or illegal drugs. You're released on the Tucson misdemeanor. Public defender, the city public defender is appointed. We're going to set a non-transport review for December 19th at 9 o'clock. The city public defender will be present at that hearing. You will not be there, sir, but someone from that office will be out to see you before the court date. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Rusty Jones,
Joan? Okay.
Jones,
I'm sorry?
Jones.
Okay, Rusty Jones, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you are charged with possession of a dangerous drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. And I'm going to read a statement to you, followed up by a question. Please answer the question, yes or no. You may be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony drug accusations in your arrest report will be permanently dismissed. without your ever being formally charged. Let me double check something here. Are you? This is not a, this next sentence is not a promise that you're going to be released. It is part of the form though that I'm reading. Are you interested in getting released from jail custody now and learning more about the STEPS program at your next hearing?
Yes.
Okay. The state's asking for a $500 bond. I seems to indicate here that he has a failure to appear history. We'll hear from the defense.
Judge, this is a drug case. He's steps eligible. It looks like he has one felony prior from 2018, which was also a personal possession drug case, and he was successful in completing probation. He doesn't have an active NVCA flag, so I'm not really seeing a reason for a bond in this case.
We'll hear from the state.
Yes, Your Honor, as I previously mentioned, the state typically releases or agrees to release to pretrial services on these types of cases, but given the fact that he's a 5 and 5 and he has a history of failing to appear, a significant history, I would say, and he's a high-risk assessment with prior felony convictions, the state is asking for a nominal bond of $500.
All right, I'm going to release you the supervision of pretrial services. STEPS hearing is scheduled for November 10th at 9 o'clock. Does the defense waive time for the preliminary hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
December 18th at 1:30 on that public defender appointed. And the STEPS hearing is November 10th at 9 o'clock. Your excuse, sir.
Right now.
Hello.
Oh, what is your name?
Nancy Moreno.
You've got several pending cases. You've got an arrest warrant out of Pima County Pima County Superior Court listing charges of taking contraband into a correctional facility, possession or use of a dangerous drug and drug paraphernalia. $1,000 bond is listed on this warrant. And then you've got some other cases that we'll get into. The state's asking for a $2,500 bond. We'll hear from the defense on that request.
Judge, given the probation hold, we're asking for the bond or the warrant amount of $1,000.
All right. Any response from the states?
No, Your Honor.
$1,000. We'll note the probation hold. November 10th, 1:30 is your court date and public defender is appointed. You also have an arrest warrant out of Pima County Justice Court on a driving under the influence case from last year, listing a bond of $100. I'm releasing you on that warrant. Your court date is November 18th at 11 a.m. Assuming you're still in custody, that is subject to change. And then you've got some cases in Tucson City Court. Yeah. Got warrants on a shoplifting and drug paraphernalia case from 2020. Shoplifting, obstruction, and trespassing case also from 2020. Driving under the influence, criminal damage. Also, this one is from 2023. Bond on your city court cases is at $1,000. The city public defender is appointed to represent you. They previously represented you. All Prior conditions of release on the misdemeanors remain in effect. Video review is scheduled for November 7th at 1:45. December, and I've noted the other holds on you. And December 8th at 9 o'clock if you are out of custody before November 7th. You're excused.
Well,
Hello.
Hello, what's your name?
Adam Romero, sir.
You've got new charges of theft of means of transportation, burglary in the 3rd degree, and possession of drug paraphernalia. You also have an arrest warrant out of Pima County Superior Court listing charges of tampering with physical evidence, narcotics, drug possession, and drug paraphernalia. The warrant lists a $500 bond, which is what the state is requesting. And then on the new complaint, the state's requesting another $500 bond. We'll hear from defense counsel. I see your lips moving, but I'm not hearing.
sorry, Jeff. Sorry, Jeff. I was talking to my client.
Oh,
I don't have any objection to those bonds.
all right, 500. Superior Court date is November 10th at 1:30. Legal advocate appointed. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't return to the incident location. And on the other matter, no contact with victims, stay away from the incident location. No alcohol or drugs, no firearms or other weapons. That court date is, and $500 bond. That court date is November 13th at 1:30. Legal advocate appointed. And that's it. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Mark Sotelo.
Kelly, in charge of second-degree burglary, theft of means of transportation, domestic violence, criminal damage, possession of drug paraphernalia, driving under the influence. The state's recommending a $75,000 bond. At a minimum, I'm ordering that you not commit any acts of domestic violence, don't drive without a license, and do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. No contact with Nancy Sotelo except over the phone, and no contact of any kind with Wyatt Kimbler. Stay away from their home and workplaces. 75,000 is the request from the state. We'll hear from the defense.
Judge, we'd be asking for a lower bond. Mr. Sotelo is not employed, and it's been a little while since he's been employed. His parents are obviously the victims here and also are not going to bond him out, given their statements in the interim complaint. So we'd be asking, he is a level 2 on the pretrial services matrix, so we'd be asking for a lower bond than the 75,000.
Anything else from the state?
Yes, Your Honor. It looks like he's a 3 out of 3, and as defense said, the victim objects to release but welcomes phone contact. The state would know of particular concern. This is one of the few times that a police officer submits in their probable cause statement their concern and requests that the defendant be held without bond. The state is asking for a $75,000 bond in light of his significant failure to appear, history, the fact that he does not have a known residence. He's pending felony charges. He's a continual risk to the victim, that he continues to victimize them multiple times, and that he used a vehicle that was involved in a collision during this incident.
All right, thank you. Bond is set in the amount of 75,000. Your court dated November 13th at 1:30. The public defender is appointed. Your excuse, sir?
Oh,
Hello, what's your name?
Lynn Swanson.
I'm going to read a statement to you, followed up by a question. Please answer the question yes or no. You may be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony drug accusations in your arrest report will be permanently dismissed without you ever being formally charged. This next sentence is not a promise that you are going to be released. I'm just reading it off the pre-printed form. Are you interested in getting released from jail custody now and learning more about the STEPS program at your next hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
So the state is asking for a $500 bond. I am going to, at a minimum, order no alcohol or drugs, no firearms or other weapons, and stay away from the incident location. As to the matter of the bond request, we'll hear from the defense.
Can you release her to pretrial services? This is a personal possession drug case. She has verified housing and support with her mother. She does have priors, but it looks like the last one is from 2019, and it was also a personal possession case. So given all those factors, we'd be asking you to release her to pretrial.
Okay, we'll hear from the state.
Yes, Your Honor. She is a 6 and a 5 on the scales. She is eligible for STEPS, but she has a significant failure to adhere history and obviously the high risk assessment. She has prior felony convictions and a history of violent behavior. And regardless of what the court orders as a possible release condition, the state would request that she has no contact with the co-defendants in this matter.
Okay, we'll add that. That's not a problem. No contact with co-defendants. That bond in the amount of 250, November 13th, 1:30 is your preliminary hearing, and the steps hearing is November 10th at 9 o'clock. The legal advocate is appointed to represent you. You're excused.
You can say it.
Hello, what's your name?
Brando Blisto.
I'm sorry, say again.
Brando Blisto.
Okay, thank you. You charged with shoplifting, class 4 felony. I'm gonna order that you not return to any Circle K store, don't have contact with any alleged victim, no alcohol or illegal drugs. The state is asking for a bond of 2,500. And after we get done with this case, you've got a couple more. We'll hear from the defense as to the bond request.
Judge, we're asking, you consider pretrial services. If not, then a lower bond. He is homeless and self-employed as a handyman, so he's not making a lot of money doing that. He has one felony prior, but it's from 2015 and it's not violent. And he also doesn't have an active NVCA flag, so we ask you to consider all that in your decision.
All right, we'll hear from the state.
Yes, Your Honor, he's a 6 out of 6, and he has prior felony convictions and significant failure to appear history. He's not only been unsuccessful as a ROR, but he has been previously revoked on probation, which indicates there's a concern for complying with release conditions.
Thank you. Bond is set in the amount of 500. Pretrial services supervision is posted November 13th at 1:30. And the public defender is appointed. You've got an arrest warrant out of Pima County Justice Court on a shoplifting and resisting arrest case, and that bond listed on that warrant is 500. Double checks. Bond is set in the amount of 250. We're going to appoint Douglas Taylor to represent you as your lawyer. And you're going to be seeing, oops. You're going to be seen tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pima County Justice Court on video. Tucson City Court. You've got 3 cases there. The new one that you have not been seen on already, you're charged with trespassing and failure to appear. This one is from September of 2024. So we'll order no contact with the victim, stay away from the incident location. And then you've got obstructing a highway, failure to appear in 2023. 2 counts of disorderly conduct, trespassing, a couple of failures to appear from 2018. $250 bond on the city court matters. Video review, November 7th at 1:45. If you bond out on everything before then, December 8th, 9 o'clock in person. The city public defender will be representing you. And this belongs to Hale. That's it. You're excused. Thank you all. You're free to go.